And that story is all eyes right now on Georgia this week. The state casting ballots in a hotly contested House race that has now set a record for early voting. Marianne Rafferty has a story from Los Angeles. Marianne, what are the candidates doing to get people out to the polls?
Well, Rob, first of all, folks turned out in droves for early voting, with both candidates trying to rally support in a special election, an important one that could be a sign of things to come heading into the 2018 midterm elections. The winner will fill the vacated seat of Health and Human Services Secretary Tom Price. Price joining Republican candidate Karen Handel at a rally on Saturday, along with former Georgia governor and current Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue, urging Republicans to vote in spite of how they feel about the current administration.
I know some of you out there, some Republicans may even be turned off by our president. Get fired up and get turned on.
And Democratic candidate Jon Ossoff campaigning with civil rights leader Congressman John Lewis, also urging folks to get out and vote even if they don't agree with him on the issues.
It's important to make your voice heard, and whether or not you support me, you got to participate in the democratic process. I think this is an opportunity for Georgia to elect some fresh leadership.
The latest polls have Ossoff leading Handel by a slight margin of only 2 points, so both sides know right now every vote counts, Rob.
Yeah, and everybody's focused on this as kind of a temperature gauge. This race is breaking some other records as well, right?
Yeah, it is. The special election has rapidly become the most expensive House race in history. In fact, both sides have made seven-figure investments towards their candidates. Ad spending also shattering all previous records at nearly $40 million, with Republicans outpacing the Democrats by just a few million. The Democrat, Jon Ossoff, has raised a whopping $23 million, mostly from out of the district, which Tom Price criticized from the stump.
This has been one crazy race, has it not? I'm telling you, the money is crazy. The out-of-state money is crazy. Some of the views from our friends on the other side are crazy, which tells me we've got to have a crazy high turnout for election on Tuesday for Karen Handel.
And with just 2 days to go, Rob, it's sure to be a nail-biter in Georgia on election night.
It certainly is. It's certainly something everybody's talking about. Thank you so much. Let's bring back our panel and get back into this topic here. Doug, we're going to start with you. Sure. Just the fact that we're talking about this has got to feel like some kind of a victory for the Democrats and a little embarrassing for Republicans, right?
Well, look, then we saw about a 8 or 10 point swing in the Kansas and Montana races to the Democrats, which they, in fact, obviously did lose. But with that kind of swing, Jon Ossoff will win. The polls have him a couple of points ahead. And frankly, voters don't care about out-of-state money. They care about who's got the best message for them, who can make a difference in their lives. And so far, the Democrats look better organized and more enthusiastic than the Republicans.
Yeah. Evan, this is a Republican district. It's been Republican since Carter was in the White House, 1979. How do you explain this? If you're the Republicans, how do you try and, calm nerves from what this is building?
Well, I think we have to recognize this is not a canary in the coal mine for 2018. This district has very different demographics than other districts throughout the country and the nation as a whole. So it doesn't represent some sort of Democratic wave. That being said, Democrats are absolutely energized nationwide and want to take back the House and the Senate. So what they're going to do, win or lose Tuesday night, is they're going to claim victory because they beat the point spread, because historically the Democratic candidate loses by double-digit figures in this district, and they're going to be able to say, look, because of your efforts, now they're saying this to the base, because of your efforts, you're able to go out and really impact these races, and we can do it in all 435 seats. And Republicans, at the same time, need this win desperately so that they can tell their base that it's okay, and this win would be some form of Prozac, because the base is quietly becoming more and more worried about whether or not we can retain control in 2018.
Okay, well, we want to get to one more topic here, and that is the Scalise shooting from this week. Everybody right now talking about, just how terrible politics is and what a mess it is and how upsetting it is. Is this going to be the message that they need to tone it down? Doug, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, you heard Tom Price just now. He was using the word crazy as a metaphor for turnout for Democrats. We got to stop that. We got to stop it on both sides. This is horrific. It really emboldens and empowers our enemies around the world when we're this divided. And this kind of rhetoric just polarizes our country. We're all Americans. We all have a common purpose. And I really believe that I hope out of the tragedy of Representative Scalise's shooting, we come together with common purpose. We're all Americans, not Democrats or Republicans, first and foremost.
Okay, Evan, last word?
Well, very quickly, I think Democrats and Republicans should follow the Siegfried and Schoen message, which is we get a beer after arguing.
Absolutely.
But I've been seeing a lot of problems on both sides of the aisle, and Democrats are making it seem like Republicans are the only ones who have contributed to the bad rhetoric, and they're claiming that Democrats are holier than thou and virtuous. And when you have Democrats who are going out and saying that the GOP is part of the Taliban, that was a former Democratic representative said in Congress, and that the Republicans want to kill minorities and kill the poor, the Democrats need to tone it down too.
Yeah. Well, they hate each other.
Both sides
you
need
can
to
feel they
tone it
both
down,
need to. I agree with that.
Both sides.
And you can tell how much they hate each other, and I think that makes people hate them, and that's why the approval ratings are so low. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you.